BeastNet podcast, sponsored in part by James Safety Services, OCR Buddy, and supported by the fitness community. Here we discuss all things fitness related, running, rucking, mental health and preparedness, and of course, obstacle course racing. Welcome to the BeastNet.
Hey everybody, this is Lisa from BeastNet Podcast, and today we are talking with Angela. And if you want to give us a little bit of info and background on who you are, and we'll get going from there.
It's actually Tamara, but that's
Tamara,
okay.
see? It's called me not having the right info.
Trust me, I'm going to be the one screwing up. I am not good at this. I've already dropped it and didn't charge. I'm trying to get it. We're going to have a good time. All right. Maybe not. I've got 3 different devices to do this with, and none of them work.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. And the worst thing for me ever is to see myself when I talk. That's the only anxiety besides technology that I have is being on camera.
Yeah, I hate listening to my own voice. And when Dawn decided to throw in the Zoom meetings too and recording it, I'm like, really? Really?
Oh my gosh.
All right. So Tamara, tell us a little bit about yourself here.
All right. My name's Tamara. I've got a great story. I don't even know which direction to even go with it, but I've had a really hard life. I've worked my butt off in every aspect, and I've made bad decisions and good decisions. And so far, in just the last probably 10 years, I've lost over 100 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
I have had a double mastectomy, full hysterectomy. I've broke this shoulder 3 times.
Oh my goodness.
And everybody has always told me, you can't. Thinking about this podcast and what I wanted to talk about the most is my drive and the drive to inspire others to say, yes, you can. The only thing holding you back is yourself or what you think of yourself. And every obstacle needs to be broken. You need to push yourself. You need to not listen to other people and be the best damn version of yourself possible.
That's incredible.
And yes, and it has been amazing. It's been such an awesome journey. And when people say I'm sorry, it just pisses me off because the journey is what makes you stronger and makes you a better person. And I love the journey. I've loved the struggles, and I believe that every one of them has been for a reason.
Where got you started on your weight loss journey?
Well, I was fit growing up, and I wanted to be a high school PE teacher growing up, but I was like, oh, there's no money there. You know, why would you do that? That kind of thing. And I followed the corporate world. And I said, there's 2 places I never wanted to live. And that was Texas and Mississippi. And God's got a sense of humor because my job transferred me to Dallas. And I loved it. I had a really good time there. And then my family moved to Mississippi and I followed them there. And unfortunately, we were living in a really small town and there's nothing to do. There's no gyms, there's nothing promoting healthy living. And I got into a bad marriage and I put every single person before myself and I got fat, really fat. Put on the smiling face, said everything was good, and just put myself on the back burner. And that is not what you need to do to be a happy person.
Agreed.
Yeah. So I think I took it in 2 different stages with that. And I remember signing up and I was really overweight. I've got some heart problems too. And I was going through a divorce. I guess that would be first. And they did a stress test on me. And they put me on that treadmill and I was 85 pounds overweight. I mean, really overweight.
Yeah.
And they put me on that thing. And next thing you know, the doctors were in there. We had nurses in there. We had people clapping, just go. Because I was the second best person on that treadmill, on that incline and the speed and everything. And I was completely overweight. And they said, listen, they said, if you can do this, I'm probably going to cry today. I can already feel it. They said, if you can do this, do not stop. You can, you know, your heart problems, you're going to be fine. Just take antibiotics when you go to the dentist. Tell people if you have surgery, so forth. And that inspired me to start jogging. And I would run like one light pole, walk a light pole, run one, walk one. And I signed up. I was completely overweight for a 5K in like 6 weeks. And I was thinking in my head, I can't do this. And I remember my husband saying, what, you think you're going to win? You know, why are you doing that? You know, what's your purpose in this? And I was thinking, I don't know, but I'm going to do my best. And I'll be doggone, I placed in that race.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Right here. I swear to you. And that's one of the things that I love about running and obstacle courses. And it's here. It's not necessarily your body, it's your mind and what you think is what's going to happen. And still to this day, if I sign up for a race, I think I can't finish. And I know damn well I can, but I have that in my head, like, what if you don't? And my biggest drive is just to try to motivate people in all stages and every single level, whether you're broken or not broken. Go, go, go. Don't stop. Be strong. And the stronger that you are physically, the stronger you are mentally.
Agreed. Sometimes I think that the mental side kind of has to come before the physical, just on the fact that, you know, you're your own worst enemy and you have to get past those blockages in your head. And damn it, those are hard to get through sometimes. Like, they're hard and it's your own self. You're having to beat your own self at times.
I tell people every single day, when you wake up in the morning, what you say to yourself or what you're letting run through your head is going to determine your whole day. If you say, this day is going to suck, your day is going to suck.
Yes.
Suck. You got to turn it around and just say, hey, I'm going to have a good day. If I don't like something in my life, I'm going to change it. And we can change things, and people don't realize we're not a tree. We can move. We can find different friends. We can find a different job. We can do anything we want to do. We just have to do it.
Yes, agreed. So you started your journey on weight loss, and then you said within the last 10 years, like, you've had the double mastectomy and the hysterectomy and the shoulder. Was that just like, it's just a series of events on top of it, or how did that all come to play within your journey here?
When I was living in the small town, I got certified to be a personal trainer, trying to educate myself as to what I needed to do to get stronger. And I didn't do anything with it. And then I moved to Jackson, which is a big city with so many different resources and parks that are clean. I mean, just so many different things. There's so many options. When I hear people complain here, it just kills me. You know, we have options. And I started a job at a really nice place, and I was the food service director. And they said, well, we need you here all 3 shifts, breakfast, lunch, dinner, you know. I said, that's fine, as long as I can take a 2-hour break in the afternoon and go work out. They said, sure, no problem. Got on into it. They're like, oh, you can't leave the premises because things fall apart when you leave. So I started running or whatever. And then they're like, well, you can't do that because you're sweating. Well, hello, what do you think we're doing when we're working? You know, if you're working hard enough, you're sweating anyway. And that was just a major obstacle for me. And then when I had the surgery and I had the mastectomies and a full hysterectomy, which I wasn't prepared for. I didn't know that was going to happen at the same time. I remember waking up just thinking I'd never be a woman again, you know, going through all of this and then saying, oh, well, you can't even take hormones for at least another year. thought it was over.
Yeah.
And I went back to work, and my surgery was a 19-hour surgery, and I had to have 2 of them.
Oh,
And I remember the grief that I got that I missed work, almost like it was elective,
yeah.
and it was such a struggle to go walk back in those doors. And then I thought, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm there morning to night, no time for my family. What do I want to do? And I was like, I want to get back into fitness. And I took a major pay cut. I started working as an ambassador at Burn Boot Camp. Great program, great people, love the girl power. And that started a huge transformation and a mindset. And I went from making good money to nothing. And let me tell you, money's not everything. The more you make, the more you spend. You just signing a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
You find what you love to do, and everything will line itself up. And in that process, I hurt my back, and had to do Pilates and chiropractic to get better. Realized the importance in that, and then I got certified in Pilates, and it just started a forward momentum of
Yeah.
what do I want to do. And I was like, I want to be a trainer. And I started training with Pilates and pretty much helping people with problems, back problems, hip problems, and all of that. And the world just opened up to me. I figured out what I wanted to do. And I'm like, that's not my passion. My passion is pushing people to make the change.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, some people gave me some chances to train at different places, and I started doing some training, and it exploded. And then the COVID thing happened, and I know I probably talk way too much and
No,
too fast,
you're
but
totally just fine.
the COVID thing happened, and I was already working, teaching some group classes at one facility, and then teaching at another country club. And I was bouncing around a lot, trying
Yeah.
to make the money and do what trainers do. You can only work so many places, so many times. Did I lose you?
Oh, yeah, my internet's kind of sketchy. My daughter's still in school, and so we're sharing
She's
the internet.
hogging. She's hogging.
Yeah,
How
we're sharing the
dare her? Getting an
internet.
education, taking the
Right?
internet. At least she's not playing games, right?
Yeah. Uh,
Um,
so you
and
were at
then
working the 2 different, like, the different places and stuff. Where to go from there with all of this?
it was actually 3 different places at
Oh my
that
goodness.
time. And nobody would let me. I didn't sign a non-compete, but they
Yeah.
didn't want me anywhere else either. And it was really awkward, and it was hard. And I'm
Yeah.
sure other trainers understand that. And then COVID hit, and it was like I lost all 3 jobs, just
Oh,
like that. What do you do?
yeah.
And I cleaned everything in my house. I power blasted the porches. I mowed 3 acres of lawn with a push mower. I did everything. And I was like, I cannot sit here and do
Yeah.
nothing. So I was like, well, what can I do? So I found something I was passionate about that I've always wanted to have time to do. And that was to help out at an animal shelter. So I started filling some of my time with that. And then my clients are reaching out to me, and they're like, okay, this isn't going away. We need you to do mobile boot camps. So I threw all my weights. I camped out at Academy. I never done the Black Friday stuff. I'm really not a shopper. And
Yeah.
I would sit out there and wait for the doors to open, like trying to get me some weights. And I have, oh my gosh, they know me. The owner from Academy, the manager, came last night just to check out my facility, wondering
Yeah.
what was going on. It was just so funny because they know me there. But I get in there, and there's one guy in front of me, and we waited like 2 hours before they opened, hoping they had weights. And they'd come
Oh,
out and they'd say, if you're here for ammo, you might as well go home, or we got a little bit of weights, you might get lucky. And there's an old guy in front of me. I mean, old too. One guy in front of me, and they only let 10 people in at a time. 2 hours before they open, I'm sitting on my yoga mat out there, and he looks at me and I look at him. It was on. They open those doors. He gets the cart. He's trying to break the two apart, and he gets two apart. I grab one. He grabs one, and it was on. I felt like we were in one of those shows,
Yeah.
eye contact. It's on. So I take the right lane. He takes the left, and we're running through Academy. And some poor guy had a pallet, and he's like, which way do I go? Oh my gosh. So we get to where we're going, and the pallets weren't even unwrapped, and it was like Christmas. I mean, you're just ripping stuff, grabbing it. And I got probably 500 pounds worth of weights and just different things. And I didn't have the money for it. I mean, really, but it was just like, you got to get it while you got it.
Yeah.
I was high. I was like, oh my gosh, shopping high from hell. I was so proud of that. And I started doing like mobile boot camps with one of the dogs that I was just taking home for the night because it was my birthday.
Yeah.
She's sitting right over here. Foster Fail over here. And she started doing mobile boot camps with me. And I thrived through COVID once again because of mindset.
Yes, that's fantastic.
I was able to find some of my passion and reconnect with some of my clients. And then my clients were freaking amazing. And they said, this building right here is my new gym. They're like, you need to be independent. You don't need to be bouncing around like you were. You need to do you. Because I got a potty mouth too. Just saying. And I love playing bad music when I work out. I do.
Yeah.
I'm fun. I'm super fun. And they're like, you have to go independent. And I was like, not ready for it. Yeah. Once again, it was God saying, go, go, go. And I wasn't ready for it, or I didn't think I was, and I was. And I needed that push, and I needed that momentum. And it has been the best adventure.
That is so awesome. So awesome. So COVID kind of just led you to more of your passions in some aspects. And then now you have your own place now. Like, it's the universe. Like, I swear, even with this year being the way it is, the universe has a way of just putting you like right where you need to be. And, a lot of it, like you said, has to do with your mindset and being like, I'm going to do this. I got this. And just jumping in and going for it. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And with the last obstacle course race,
I was just going to ask about that.
Yeah, I wanted to sign up. I mean, I was on the fence and really intimidated, and I was going to sign up for it, and it was closed. So we do a thing here, which is something else that's just really different, but I combined all my passions together. We do Wine Down Wednesday. So we work out, everybody brings a bottle of wine, and we do wine sampling here, and girl power, way fun, great networking, and just a awesome way to break up the week. So going into Wine Down Wednesday, some of my other girls who are big into obstacle races are like, after a couple glasses of wine, they're like, are you doing it? I said, no, it's closed. I said, I can't. She said, no, I think it opened back up. I said, oh yeah, I had a couple glasses of wine. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. I'll be doggone. It did open back up. And I was like, shit, am I ready for this? Oh my gosh. No, I wasn't ready for it at all.
Yeah.
This was Wednesday. The event was Saturday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was pulling all of the excuses. Well, I don't have a room to stay in because it was in Meridian. They're like, oh, you can stay with us. And I was like, there's no excuses. And I always say, do not wait for you to be ready to do something. Because if you wait until you're ready, you'll never do it.
You'd be waiting forever.
If it's having kids or taking a job change or getting ready for an obstacle course race, just do it.
Yeah.
Who cares if you fail, right?
Yeah.
And that race was so much fun. So much fun. And pain. And once again, that mental stuff. We're running through the trails at Bonita Lake, and I'm thinking, these aren't trails. These aren't trails. We had no idea where we were going. We had to just look at trees and hope they were wrapped with the orange or whatever it was. And I was thinking, you would never do this stuff unless you were pushed into it or somebody else was doing it right in front of you. Because I'm a mosquito magnet. There's, thorny bushes, there's mud, there's gunk. You'd never do that ever unless you're following other people and they say it's okay to do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
We hit this wall. There was 3 walls, and they had to have been 8 feet high. And they said, you can't touch the sides. You got to get over that wall. I'm thinking, there is no way in hell I'm getting over that wall. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
nowhere ever in my life would I try to scale a wall and think I could do it. They're saying I can do it. So I'm thinking, well, I got to try it, right? I hit the wall 3 times, boom, boom, and I'm thinking, what the heck? My friend Christy, I'll be doggone, she's shorter than me. Somehow she made it up the wall. And I was thinking, if she made it up the damn wall, I'm going up that wall. And I got up there, hit the wall, crawled up, as much as I could. And I could bring my body up to about here. And then I was thinking, now I got to get that foot up over that wall. I'm thinking, okay, I'm more flexible. I used to not even be able to touch my toes. I can do it, pull that foot up. Then I get that foot up and I'm thinking, I'm going to fall on my head.
Yeah.
I was like, hell no, I am not going down.
Yeah. No.
Scraped the living life out of my leg, which was awesome, by the way. I posted all of my bruises and scrapes because I earned them.
Yes.
And I over that dang wall. And how empowering is that?
It's
Because
very empowering.
I can take that into every single aspect of my life and say, if you can do that, you can do anything.
So true.
And, I did sign up for the competitive part. I don't even know if I knew what I was doing when I signed that part versus the non-competitive part.
Yeah.
Because if other people have not done these obstacle races before, I don't want to scare them. Because if you're not in the competitive part, you can get on people's backs, you can get help, you can, it's a teamwork thing, which is probably even more important. It is more important than the competitive side, truthfully.
Yeah.
Because it's working as a team and helping other people and getting through it. And me and my friend Christy, who she was ready. She's a beast, man. She's a beast. She was ready for it. We got, I thought they said somewhere in that it was 6 miles, but my GPS was already past 6 miles. And I was thinking, oh, it is 8 miles. Great. With 30 obstacles. Awesome. And at mile 6, my calves were cramping so bad that if I didn't go like a penguin, flexed my toe, ooh, and I was like, I stumbled a couple times and I was like, go, leave me, I've got this. I'll make it out of the woods. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I'll make it out of the woods because I couldn't read the markers like she did. But I was thinking, do not let me slow you down. Go, go, go.
Yeah.
And I'll be doggone pretty quick after that. She got the cramps.
Oh.
And I was thinking, oh, I've got that guilty conscience. I gave her the cramps, somehow I gave it to her. And we forged through that thing and we were not going 100%, especially because of me, but we were pushing each other just one obstacle after another. And I remember at the very end, they have huge monkey bar things where you hold the thing and you scooch it. And then you have the arm to arm monkey bars. And then you have the rings, and it was single rings. Well, with my shoulder, and you can see it.
Yeah.
I can go monkey bars. I can do almost everything, but the ring part, I think the stretching scares me. Like almost like I know better. Like just don't, you can push it, but just don't push it that hard.
Yeah.
And I watched her start it, and I was thinking, okay, how am I going to do this and not break my shoulder at the last obstacle too?
Yeah.
I've made it this far. I'm cramping. I was like, I'm going to push this thing. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it through it. And I asked them, I went back and I said, what are the rules? And they said, you can't touch the sides and you got to get from A to Z. I said, that's the only rules? And they're like, yeah. And let me tell you, I got a creative mind. I really don't, but I'm a rule stretcher, not a rule breaker. I'm a rule stretcher. And I'm thinking, okay, I can do this. I'll get through the first two, the monkey bars and the scooch thing, and I'll come up over the obstacle instead of the ringy things. I said, I'll just plop my, get my body up on top and walk across those last little bars and come up on the other end. That's exactly what I did. And I got to the other end, and then I'm thinking, I'm 15 feet in the air. I got to jump down from here. But I was thinking, if I got over that damn wall, I'm going to be able to, drop down. And I remember being up there and seeing the photographer, and I was thinking, and she's taking pictures, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I did it. She's like, of course you did. And her motivation was just so incredible because she believed in me. I mean, that's the other thing. If somebody believes in you, I think you're so much more capable of anything.
Yeah.
And some people just don't have somebody saying you can do it. And I'll be doggone, I drop down and she takes my picture, and I'm walking back to get my sunglasses and give other people advice. And then she's like, no, run. And I'm like, run. She's like, the timer thing's right here. And I'm thinking, we have, goofed around in the woods. We've walked some. And I'm like, run. I said, okay, fine. So I run through and I'm like, yes, we survived. So we get to the finish line, and first thing in my mind, I don't know about you, but when I do events, beer. I told him in the thing, I need a shirt that says, I run for beer. Nothing better than kicking butt in the morning and drinking a beer at 11 o'clock after you ran 8 miles and done 30 obstacles, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just thrilled, and I'm looking for bug spray because I'm a bug magnet. So we end up by the motorcycles and got some beer. We're over there camping out, and I start getting phone calls from people, and they're like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm by the motorcycles and the beer. They're like, well, you need to be up here. And I was like, why? And they said, you won an award. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah. They're like, you come up here. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I missed the awards. I met Julie Wolf.
Yes, Julie. She's amazing.
Oh my gosh. Kindred spirits and souls. She was so much freaking fun. And going back to it, when I signed up for the race, I did email her like some questions like, oh God, I said, I'm scared to death. How many people are signed up, all the basic.
Yeah.
She was right on top of it. I mean, how she kept up with the people in the events, it just blew my mind anyway. But we get over there and I meet them and saw my friend Sean, who was volunteering there, and everyone was so nice. I mean, it was like family.
Yeah.
Every one of them. I mean, it was just shockingly awesome. And if anybody has never done this, they have to, just for the connection with other people.
Yes, totally agree with you on that one.
So my friend who was volunteering, she's like, oh, well, let's go to Weidman's, or I don't know. I didn't even fully read my text. I'm still on this high from getting the event done and everything.
Yeah.
I said, sure, we'll show up. we ended up with all of them that night at Weidman's. And I swear, I think I probably made connections for life, and I'm like, I'm in. I'm addicted. I'm, everybody has to do this.
Yes.
Then I looked up your podcast,
Yeah.
BeastNet, and was literally brought to tears on the gentleman talking about helping the people with disabilities.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That is amazing. And when he said it's so much more important than a podium, he
Aaron.
has won
Yep.
the lotto on life because he understands it's getting other people to get over that wall.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing.
Totally agree with you on that one.
Absolutely amazing. So I can't tell you how good of an experience I had with everything.
That is amazing to hear. And that's, I think, one of the major draws to obstacle course racing. Um, if you're an elite athlete, I get it. Follow the rules, do, everything you have to. But when it comes down to the core of who does obstacle course racing, it's the average athlete. It's the average person just wanting to get off the couch and get out there and do that. And, even the adaptive athletes, they want to be able to do that, just because it's fun and it's something that they enjoy doing. And just because there's a physical limitation or a mental limitation, it doesn't stop you and you can still do it. But the family that you have after you've done obstacle course racing, it is literally the most uplifting thing because it's the family that you choose. And most of the time, they understand what you're going through and you make lifelong friends. I have people now in my life that I never would have imagined having 6 years ago. And I can't imagine not having them in my life, like Mike and Dawn, who are co hosts here on the podcast, and my best friend, like she and I met 5 years ago, and we're like, we're trouble, trouble one and trouble two, pretty much. um,
Fun trouble, nothing better than that.
exactly. It's, it's the shenanigans that happen on course. And I'm not a competitive runner, don't really necessarily want to be. I like being in the open waves, helping people, cheering people on. And that to me is the heart of OCR. And what I love the most about it is that aspect. So, yeah, we're talking to Aaron when he was talking about how, he's creating an obstacle course race for adaptive athletes to make it easier for them. I was just like, can I come there? Can I come to Florida and help you out? Because I just want to see this. I want to be a part of that.
That is amazing. And when I started my own gym, the beautiful part, I know this is going to sound horrible, is I get to pick and choose my clients. If you're a
Yeah.
negative nanny, you're not supposed to be here because you'll bring down everybody, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
And my favorite clients that I have kept and I will never drop unless they drop me is the ones with the disabilities. And I have one gal, oh my gosh, I'm about to cry. Her name's Tika. And she was in a car wreck. She lost her dad. She was ejected from the vehicle,
Oh my goodness.
severely injured, was in a coma for months. And she has more spirit and drive than 99% of the people that you will ever meet, ever. And she's happier than most people because she chooses to be, and nothing stops her. And I have got to watch her just get stronger and better and, hit these things that most normal people would be scared of. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to ride a horse, and yeah, I'm going to do this. And she motivates me more than I can motivate her. And she doesn't even understand it.
That's incredible. That's utterly incredible. And, you know, I agree. The people like I see on the course, they motivate me so much. I've seen a guy, it might have been his first Spartan, and he was very overweight, but he just kept going. And I passed him a couple times. And every time I did, I was like, dude, I'm so proud of you. You got this. You are so going to kill this course. I'm so proud of you. And, you just kind of see him. He kind of just like picked up his shoulders a little bit and walked a little taller. And that was motivation right there for me. I'm like, if he can do this, if he can get out of his comfort zone so much to be out here doing this, what's stopping me to continue to improve and get better? And they are motivating. Everybody's motivating. When I'm in the open heats, like I love watching all the people. I don't know if I go more for me or if I go to people watch and see that everybody like conquer like their fears and everything.
And I swear by it, but when you do something you never thought you could do, it makes you stronger in every single aspect of your life.
Yes.
And that's my biggest motivation, is getting people stronger physically so they build the confidence. And I'll be doggone, confidence is sexy, and
Yes.
that's one of my things. Get strong here and then get strong physically and
Yeah.
watch what happens. It's like the universe opens up to you. It's amazing.
See, I'm with you on that one. It is amazing. And, I don't know how other people have dealt with like the COVID and the lockdowns and everything else, but for me, it's kind of been a chance to do a lot of reflecting and, you know, healing and fixing myself mentally so that I can be physically stronger. And holy crap, it's opened a lot of doors for me. Never expected to be a co-host on this podcast, and I'm a co-host on the podcast. I'm like, well, there's
Look
one
at
door
you
open.
go.
There's one door
Awesome.
open. And it's connecting me with people I never would have imagined being connected to and talking to and interviewing. And it's incredible. And I think that's amazing when people can do that. Like obstacle course racing is um, it's a huge example of that because people are doing just that. They're conquering their fears. They're company, it's taking care of the physical and the mental side of all the blockages. Because I don't know about you, but when I'm out there on the course, I'm going through so many things in my head. Just it's freeing to me because I'm like, okay, I'm going through all the problems and things. I'm like, I'm enjoying myself at the same time because even though I'm up here, I'm physically active. I'm bullshitting with my teammates and having a lot of fun. And that's my happy place. Being on that course, whatever course it is, that's my happy place. And oh, I've missed it. I wish I was back there because I would have been there with you. Like, I miss getting muddy.
Oh, I bet.
Does your business need first aid, AED, OSHA, flagging, or other safety training? James Safety Services is your one-stop shop. Find them on Facebook today at James Safety Services WA and ask for a quote on hosting your training needs.
What are your goals, or like what are you seeing for yourself like with obstacle course racing in this next year, and where you want to go with your gym in this next year since you have that whole door just like blew open for you?
And those are crazy questions because I'm still trying to figure it out as I go too. And I'm one of those where I really truly believe if you ask for something, you're most likely going to get it. And the hardest thing for most people to do is put it out into the universe and say, this is what I want to do. And it's almost intimidating because I don't want to say the wrong things and get the wrong thing back, because I've done that before. Okay, I did that with my first husband. I really did. I got exactly what I asked for because I didn't think I was worthy of more than what I asked for. And I'm still trying to figure out my goals and what exactly it is that I need to do. I know my overall is motivating people, getting people to get out of their comfort zones and quit making excuses and try something they've never done and just get stronger physically, mentally, spiritually, and have fun. And, where I go with that, I'm not quite sure, but I know the doors are going to open up as I
Continue to
pronounce, yeah, as I voice them, but I've got to figure them out first because I'm a little scared.
I can totally, I'm right there with you on that one. Like, ooh, do I want to put that out there?
Yeah, but if I could get sponsored to do some races and do that for fun, or you know, do some workouts and be able to travel with them. I miss the travel.
Yeah.
Bad. I mean, I am dying not having a vacation planned out, or you know,
Yes.
and the cold weather and the rain today. I'm just like, oh, I'm so over this.
That's
You know,
totally there with you. My best friend and I were talking about that because we're like, why does this year feel so off? And I'm like, because we didn't go on a vacation this year. Like, there was no girl trip for us. Like, we weren't able to unplug from all of our responsibilities and just go hang out and have fun. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Um, was it last, it wasn't last year, it was the year before. It was the middle of winter. We were so cold. We're like, I just want to be warm. And she's like, let's go on a trip. I'm like, okay, where? We went to Sedona, Arizona in the middle of the summer. It was like 110 degrees, and we're like, oh,
oh,
it's so nice.
I grew up in Tucson in the summers and Alaska in the winters. Tell me I did not have that wrong. So yes, I know exactly what you're talking about, but weren't the skies beautiful?
Oh, it was amazing. Amazing. It was like one of the best trips I have been on, and it was just relaxing. It was fun. We
You said
enjoyed ourselves.
Sedona?
Yeah, Sedona.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Yes.
Oh, that is
Loved it.
such an amazing place. Yes.
Loved it.
Mhm.
But now it's like we were the same thing. We want to travel and get back to our trips, and now we're trying to figure out where we want to go and what we're going to do because you can only let what's happening stop you for so long, and you gotta get back to some sort of normalcy, hopefully.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Um, does your gym have like a Facebook page, an Instagram, anything like that? Or are you still working on it?
Well, I had my accountant. I have got to get it set up. I think he set me up with, and this is just cracks me up, with another email that I got to get linked. I'm trying to remember what it was, but it's got a bad word and it's really funny. I was like, oh, that's perfect for me. I haven't got that linked yet, but I will let you know later. But right now, it's just my email or Facebook, and I do more Facebook.
Or
And I
Facebook.
know that's so all the young people do Instagram and all the other platforms, but right now I'm on Facebook as Tamara Camille Williams, and
Okay.
that's how most people reach out to me.
All right.
I think the email he's got is never quit shit.
That is awesome.
I'm pretty sure, but I haven't linked my GoDaddy because I got to get with the provider, and I haven't done any of that yet. But I'm pretty sure that that's what he picked out for me because my license plate says never quit.
Oh,
And
that's
he's like,
awesome.
oh, this domain is open, I believe. It's never quit shit, and that is just perfect for you. So I think I think he like, did it. I just haven't done my part on that, but it'll be coming.
That's fantastic. I love that domain name.
So it's coming. It's coming.
Coming. That's awesome.
But that's why I'm independent.
Yeah,
Because
you can.
I can be me.
Yeah, you can say what you want and do what you want.
And that's the other
awesome.
thing I preach to everybody is you do not have to be perfect.
No.
You need to do the very best that you possibly can, and no excuses.
Yeah.
There's nothing about me that's perfect. There's nothing I would claim to be perfect. I make mistakes every single day, whether it be eating or drinking or whatever. But I still have a good time, and I still do the very best that I can and still have a good time.
That's all that matters. It's you have to choose to be happy. And I think a lot of people get lost in, oh, money's going to make me happy. The material stuff's going to make me happy. This is going to make me happy. And bottom line, it's you. You have to choose to be happy. And That I think is a really hard lesson for some people to learn, is that you are responsible for your own happiness, just you, nobody else, and you have to make the choice to continue to be happy. Um, I don't care if it's because you're happy you have a hot cup of coffee in your hand or a glass of wine. You just choose to be happy. And like you said earlier, it's waking up in the morning and say, okay, today's going to be a good day. Today is going to be a fantastic day. And yeah, you might be thrown some curveballs, but it's how you handle those curveballs. You can either sit there and dwell on it and let it ruin your day, or you can say, okay, I've had a shit moment. It's a shit moment. Okay, let's focus on something else. I had one of those this morning. I had a really shit moment, and it took me about 45 minutes or so to get completely out of that, but I got out of it, and you got to keep moving.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I talk to my clients about is I want you to walk in and say, what are 3 things that make you happy? Do you know how many people can't even think, and you can't say family, you know, what makes you happy? Don't say family. People get
Yeah.
stuck on it and they have no idea what even makes them happy. Then I say, what makes you mad? Give me 3 things. They can name off the things that make them mad. What makes you sad? They can name them off. And I'm like, okay, your homework this week is what are 3 things that make you happy?
Happy.
And it's
Yep.
powerful.
It, yeah, it is. It was January 5th last year. I started writing down 10 things every day that I was grateful for. And um, sometimes they're completely random things that I'm grateful for, but every day I write down 10 things. For a while, I was only doing 3 in the morning, 3 at night. I have a journal that I started, and I write down how I feel in the morning, write down how my day goes, my 3 things. And I've started another book and just writing 10 things every day that I'm grateful for. And that changes your mindset. It changes your mindset, and you start realizing all the little things that make you happy.
Absolutely. And prayer, if
Yep.
you break down into prayer, say thank you. Look at the things that
Yes.
you're appreciative for and go through that and then say you're sorry for all the stuff you did wrong. And then
Yeah.
if you don't fall asleep or whatever, then ask for things to come back to you. You
Yes.
know, and it's a great reflection whether you're journaling it, praying for it, whatever talks to your soul, but it's powerful.
It is. I fully agree with you on that one. Fully agree with you. And you talk about getting over your fears and not having those fears. It's sometimes just taking that leap. You may not be fully prepared, but you never know what's on the other side of that leap. I mean, you could fall flat on your face for a minute, but then again, what if you don't? What if you grab onto the other side and holy crap, your life completely changes and it's utterly amazing because you took that one little jump to get over your fears. I mean, it could be a puddle that you're jumping over, or it could be a huge canyon, but either way, you've made that jump and taken that risk of getting past that fear that blocks you.
My surgeries and that scare was the best damn thing ever because it let me start living. And I made a vision board, very not artistic. It was just some little cue cards. And I put all the goals that I wanted to achieve in that year up on that vision board. And all of them were stuff that I was scared of, from skydiving to snorkeling to, you know, doing some of these obstacle course races and some
Yeah.
5Ks and a half marathon. And I mean, I put all this crazy stuff on there that I never would have dreamed that I could have done. Do you know when you put it out there and you write it down, you look at it, if you're anything like me, that shit was done in 6 weeks.
Wow.
6 weeks.
That's incredible. That is incredible.
Powerful. It's amazing because if you put it out there and you tell people you're going to do it, you're going to do it.
Yep.
Awesome. 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 And I just think a lot of people need to figure out what the heck they want instead of saying what they don't want. What do you want? And
Yes.
sometimes you got to start with what you don't want to figure out what you do want, but saying it out loud, believing that it's going to happen and doing it.
Yes.
That last obstacle course race, what am I scared of? Well, what was I scared of? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Heights, small tunnels or, being confined. Tons of stuff. Failure, number one. That's the biggest thing I'm scared of in my whole life is failure. What did we do in that last obstacle race? Conquered almost every fear. Yes. And here we are right now conquering my other fear. And that is being where I can see myself. And I haven't even looked at myself. I'm proud of myself. I've been looking at you. But that's my biggest fear, is putting myself out there and being made fun of.
Yes.
Or not looking like I think that I should look like, or whatever. And
I could totally relate to you on that one. I have a hard time with that too. I don't mind taking my own picture if it's a selfie, because I can control how that looks. But when I see pictures of me and somebody else has taken them, or they're like full body pictures, I'm like, what the did you do that for? Like, why? Or
the screen freezes up. You're like, no, not there.
Yes, like when you sit there, you get the picture. You're like, like, why? Why did you post that?
I got to get your information and send you a picture that somebody sent me about what they posted on Facebook, and it was her on a scale. Have you seen that yet?
No.
And if you really look close enough, she didn't have any underwear on. It is hilarious. And I'm like, oh, that is something I would do I've done stupid shit like that all the time. I've screenshotted something and then posted it, and like, you realize we can see the photos underneath it. I'm like, damn it, I did it again. Oh my gosh.
That's one of my fears. Like, if I'm at work and like we share memes and stuff, and if I show a picture, I'm like, okay, make sure your gallery can't be seen, because I got a little bit of a twisted sense of humor. I find I got some memes on there that probably offend some of my coworkers. I'm like, oh, don't let them see that.
And my attention to detail sucks. I look at what I'm looking at and I will miss everything in the background and like post stuff. And I'm like, somebody will bring it up. And I'm like, oh no, I did it again, oh my gosh. But I embarrass myself on the daily so much that it takes a lot to get me embarrassed now,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just
it's me. Yep.
It's
yep.
You.
I'm gonna own it.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Well, this has been so much fun.
It has been. Thank you so much for dealing with my lateness and technical difficulties.
I so thought that was me. I'm telling you, when I hit Zoom, I zoomed my whole phone in. Then I couldn't even open it because it was zoomed. I'm like, freak. Then my other platform's dead, and I'm like, and I was so stressed out. I was like, I'm not good at this, but I'm gonna get better.
You are so going to get better. You're going to tackle the crap out of this. Well, thank you so much for being on, and definitely want to have you on again when we see where you're going and how far your business takes off. I'm so excited for you about that.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the podium at Celtic Warrior. That's fantastic. Even if it was like a fluke and you weren't expecting it, that's still awesome.
That made it even better.
Exactly. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night and a great day, and happy holidays to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I look forward to talking to you again and hopefully seeing you at one of the events.
Oh, that's my plan. Definitely. That's my plan. All right. Have a great night.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the BeastNet podcast. If you haven't done it yet, find us on Facebook, like and share the podcast. Give us a review on iTunes or Spotify. All these things will help to expand the show in the future. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think and what you'd like to hear.